his YouTube channel, and then like I think it was one topic specifically. It was on semen retention that like drew me in a way, but then also the fact of him sharing about the 11 life path, being an 11 also, but both of those things I feel like is what.
So as 11 life paths, we have a very emotional energy. That's the energy that we carry. And when you carry an emotional energy, you have to understand that emotional energy is very much connected to the carnal mind. Now, when I say the carnal mind, what I mean is your solar, okay, your root, and your orange, yellow, and your red chakras, which are your lower chakras. Once you are attached to your lower carnal mind, for you to think more than that becomes very hard. Okay? So for you to tap into your full potential as an 11 life path is not the easiest when you're thinking from a relegated consciousness. Do you want to elaborate? Like, how's your experience been being an 11 life path? Like, how about you share your experience? How's it been?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you properly.
Okay. I'd say I've always felt everything and everyone around me like so deeply, and I don't know, before I even understood anything about who I was, I always just felt like a weird kind of outsider in a way.
No,
compared to
you're not. It's not even that you're not weird, but we're just not normal. Like, a lot of us are just not normal, and that's not a bad thing, by the way. That's really not a bad thing. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing. I just think we see things different, and people aren't always like sure what's going in our mind, or even. But now as I'm on this path more and more, I'm like, I feel more seen by a lot of people. But like that wasn't always the case when I was young, I guess.
So if you guys don't know what a life path is, if you add your birthday, your month, and your date, if you add these three numbers, you'll get an actual number. If it's a double number, you have to add that number and you'll get your life path number, unless you're an 11, 22, or 33. If you're any of these numbers, then you're a master number, okay? That's what it basically means. And that's what we're basically talking about right now. So, what do you want me to call you, Haley or Oslo?
Call me Azul. Yeah,
Oslo?
Azul, like blue, like in Spanish.
Got you. Connie, so it's Oslo. It's Oslo. So, the day you were born has a very big impact on the type of person you are. So tell me, like, how's it been for you? Like, how's love been for you? Like, has love been like the easiest thing?
No, absolutely.
Do you want to get it? Like, it's not been the easiest thing for you. No, right?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, because of the like, you speak on this, but right away it comes to my mind like, if you're not aware of yourself, like in love, then being betrayed is way easier, just because you're not. If you're out of tune with who you really are, then it's just going to be hard to have an authentic love like connection. I feel like
Yeah.
as an 11, I mean as anyone, but especially as an 11, because that's a core wound of like 11 life paths, I feel like.
So, love right now in the current market, like in the current dating market that we're in right now, a lot of older folks think that we're exaggerating, but we're actually not exaggerating. Because of the hypersexualization of society, I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm telling you now, okay? Because of the hypersexualization of modern day society, love has been pushed under the rug. That's what's happened. So love has been pushed under the rug and lust has took over. Now, are human in the end of the day. We are going to have tendencies that path. But if you are fully engaged in your carnal mind, and all my 11 life paths on the live right now, if you are fully engaged in your carnal desires, all you're thinking about is having sex, eating food, and just the material world, for you to connect to your 11 energy becomes very hard, because under 11 is a spiritual number. It's not a normal number to be. How has your experience been with uh, trying to detach from the worldly things? And I don't mean like full on detachment, because I think in the Bible it says, be of this world, be in this world, but not of this world.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
like, been for you?
I mean, I actually, from a young age, I always felt detached from my
Yeah.
surroundings, but I think that I would disassociate in a way. Like, I love to be in my mind, right? Like, we love to just be up here a lot, I feel like. But
Okay, so some of these, before you get in, some people are asking me, how do you get to know your numbers?
okay.
So I'll give you guys an example, okay? Look at this, okay? If you are born on the 9th, okay, what is this? The 9th month, the 24th date, and then 2022. Add 9, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, and you'll get a 22. If you have a master number, 22 is a master number, you don't put it down. Do you guys get what I mean? So you don't put it down. So you could do that anytime. You could do that a little later. You could do that now if you want, but um
So somebody asked me, this is relevant to what you just shared. Like, someone asked me, how can you trust these numbers? Like, where do they come from? What would you say to that when someone's like questioning?
everything is enumerated in numbers. If you just get into like holy scripture, like for example, like if you read the Quran says everything is enumerated in numbers. If you read the Bible is filled with numbers. The Torah is filled with numbers. The Quran is filled with numbers. The Bhagavad Gita is filled with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So like at the root fabric, and even science has proven this, that everything on an atomic molecular level has numbers to it. So what makes you think the day you were born doesn't have numbers to it?
Mm-hmm.
I got 2003, the Masonic checkered. What about the Masonic checkered board? Um, Black and yeah.
I've never heard of that, the Masonic checkered board.
Well, that has to do with like the Mason, like the black and white. Basically, they're talking about the light and the darkness. Like that's what they talk about. Now a lot of people, now I want to talk about like a little bit about the Islamic faith. A lot of people in the Islamic faith think that numerology is wrong, but you cannot prove that, because in the Quran itself says that everything is enumerated in numbers. So you cannot prove that. You know what I mean? So um you just got to add up all your numbers, Connie. Like you add up all the numbers. If you add the month, so if you're born in May, that's 5, and then add that with your year. So if it's 1999, you add the 1999, and you add up all the numbers until it reduces to a number.
You can also use you can look up lifepath calculator. I think most of them are accurate. Like, I've gotten 11 on every one I've done just on Google or whatever.
Yes, yes,
It just
yes.
asks it for you, but yeah.
Me too. I've got 11 on every one I've done, so those are pretty accurate. What would you like to say about the energy that you hold as an 11 life path woman? Like, how intense is that energy for you? Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
what are some of the challenges you feel with this energy?
Okay, well, it's a strong energy for sure. Like, we're a powerhouse, like, energy, right? Like, we can hold space for a lot of things and people at once, and if we're not like centered, we can become swayed easily. So that's
How do you
challenging
how do you think as 11s, how do you think as master numbers, how do you think we get centered? How do you think we get centered?
in many ways. You could go about it.
Top two, three ways that you think.
For me, one of them is walking in nature.
Yes.
Second, it's breathing.
That's like the number one way probably, right? Like
Right?
getting
Definitely.
go ahead.
Yeah. Probably just then breathing, just like focusing on the breath, just like, which I can easily get like in anxious energy. And I don't know if that's like an 11 thing or not, but I feel that it's just a lot of energy. So it's like we have to like channel and transmute it and like put it into different things, right? Or else it's going to feel like anxious energy.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
so that's where I'm
You're,
at, what I'm working on.
I was gonna say actually. Nature, breathing, channeling. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And then kind of form of meditation, or for me, I like to write. I like to do affirmations, like just doodling, like things like that. Um, yeah. Also, driving for me is like a centering experience, but not for everybody.
Okay, let's get to sex right now. What do you think about men that are impulsive? Like they just cannot control themselves at all. Like it's very hard for these men to have control over their desires. What do you think about
Well,
that?
I think a lot of things, like first off, the people in the sex work industry, they're not supporting that compulsion or compulsive like behavior. Um, but
Yeah.
it's just really a programming, and it's really just conditioning, and it's really like deeply rooted, but they have to learn different ways to transmute it and to move it and like understand the power of their sexual energy so that it doesn't overpower or it doesn't take them where they don't want to be at. Or um,
So do you feel like hypersexualization right now is detaching us from us feeling our emotions and bonding real love?
oh yeah, yeah, definitely, like it's creating a instant gratified like overstimulation, and then also that's like that over time like like it detaches you from your true senses. Like tantra is like the practice of like appreciating all the senses but not overindulging in any of them. Basically, it's like creating a balance and a harmonization of all the senses is what I understand it.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, like for 11 life paths, in your opinion, okay, here's what I think. I think the reason why we have a little harder time finding love is because we just don't like to talk about surface level conversations. Like we just don't like to have surface level conversations. We'd rather have like deep, meaningful, spiritual conversations, and that's maybe the reason why it's a little harder for us. But at the same time, I do think if we learn how to transmute our energy, if we rise above the carnal mind, we can actually learn how to connect with people on a deeper level.
Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely. That is the goal here. I feel like in this body. Yeah.
I gotta ask you a controversial question.
Okay. Wait, question. Are you saving this live or no?
I probably will if I have memory, because sometimes I don't have memory on my phone. So like if I do find memory, then it'll be
I hope
saved.
you can save it.
Yeah. Okay. What I was gonna ask you. Okay, do
The
you feel how important do you think it is for you to exchange your energy with people that you truly fall in love with and like protecting that energy? Shout out to Dale. Thank you so much for being on this live, brother. He's on life path.
Yay. Hello, Dale.
Yeah. Um, so
So,
how do you
so the question was how important. Now, are you referring to like sexual exchange or just like in general, like
change?
intimacy?
do you feel like we should try our best to stay virgins until we find the right partner?
That's ideal. Like that'd be the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
I wish I can redo it in ways, but it's like I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't go through what I've been through at the same time. So, but yes, like that little reel I shared earlier and then you reposted, it was like, you know, all the bros or whatever give each other a hard time if they haven't like had sex by a certain age. Same with girls even. It's not as like probably pressured, but it's like still there. But it's just really all false programming. Like that's just what like they wanted. That's just what the dark system wanted, you know? They just wanted people to start messing up their energies and having all these crazy cords and connection ties that they're not really beneficial.
do you know a way to break these cords, to break these connections with people?
Mm. Yeah, there's different ways to go about it. Um,
Okay.
intentional, just like intentionally, just releasing that person, that soul.
Because
Also, like
guys
separating.
get once a cord gets attached with you and someone else, like it's maybe not the easiest thing to break through. Like it might not be the easiest thing to break through unless you do some like real work.
That's true. Yeah, I know a Reiki practitioner. Like she does all sorts of stuff, but that's one service she offers is like cord cutting, and she said it's a deeper process than what you think it would be, which I've had them done before, sessions in the past. Like it was mainly from my family members, from your blood family members. You can have energetic cords. Not that they're always negative, but sometimes they're stopping you from like your full potential. So that was one thing.
Yes.
But definitely lovers or even friends. You can have cords with a lot of different people that you might not even be aware of.
So I think like one of the best ways to break a cord is to put it out into the cosmos, like put it out, like say it in words, and then to constrain yourself to maybe affiliating with that person too much, unless they're a family member, and even then, like maybe trying to limit it. But if it is like an intimate bond that you've had with someone and that's what you're trying to break, then you might want to completely cut that person off if you really want to break that cord. Because the thing is, if you keep revisiting the same people in your past, you're just strengthening that cord even more, even if you know it or you don't. That's what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So how's your walk right now? You enjoying it?
It's good, yeah. I'm just here by this pond and just had to put my feet on the earth to do the daily dose of earthing medicine.
I have to do that. I have to do that way more often.
Same. I'll go a couple of days without putting my feet on the ground and I'm like, I just feel weird. And yeah, I'll wear socks too much. And now it's getting cold here, so got to do it as much as possible.
Yeah, if you are 11 life path, you have to understand you're so like, honestly, here's what I've noticed. When I'm far away from nature, I start to feel sick. Like, and I'm being like, I actually start to feel sicker and I feel like drowsy. I just don't feel like myself. I don't feel the best when I'm in nature.
Yeah, I
So I feel like if you are an 11 life path, connect to nature as much as possible.
most definitely. Do you want to talk on the topic of semen retention at all, or not really? It's fine either way.
That topic. Are all 11 life paths isolated? Do you want to answer that?
No. Oh. Are they all isolated? No, not all of them. Especially not when you know other 11s, then it's like you don't feel alone anymore.
Yeah. That's why I advise people, I'm like, if you are an 11 life path, go and try to find other 11s or other master numbers and try to connect with them because, like, you are going to think on a deeper level. You are not going to just think surface level. So go and connect with other people because, like, look, in today's age, it's very easy to, like, get into your rooms and be on your phones and get away from your family and get away from your friends and just isolate yourself and go in depression, that's very easy. But the thing is, easy is not always the best way. Easy is not always the way out. Easy is not always the way that's going to get you to your results that you want. So if you are an 11, I think it's fine to be isolated in some seasons, like when you want to figure your stuff out, but to just be like, oh, I'm gonna stop talking to the whole world, that's a bit of stretch, because again, you are from this, you're in this world, but not of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I think a lot of times isolated. Were you isolated when you were young?
um oh yeah, oh yeah. Like even when I was like in middle school, so when I went to another country and then I came back here, I was kind of alienated to the culture, which was a test for me because remember, 11 Life Paths, we were always being tested. That was a test for me. So when I came back, I rarely, like, I did not fit into society. Like, it was just hard to fit in with people at the time. So what ended up happening was that um, I had to just like really go through a lot and like be alone and just learn and learn and learn. And that made me the man who I am right now. And like it made me gain confidence now. That's what ended up happening. So I did go through a lot of isolation. I really did. What about you?
Yeah, so a fair amount too. I think just I just sort of felt like an alien a lot.
Yeah.
That's the feeling like I could most put it,
It,
I guess.
it's very hard as an 11 life path. It's really hard to be connecting with most folks because most people just want to talk about like trivial conversations like, oh, how's the weather? How's the baseball game? How's the basketball game? But like, if you're an 11 life path and you just think deeper, you want to connect with people on a deeper level. Like, it's not just, you know?
Did you ever have like issues with communicating? Like, did you ever feel like your energy was like blocked in your throat or not really?
I feel like that right now, actually, that you brought it up. My throat hurt.
Oh, really? Clearing all that.
I hope that works. But yeah, no, I've had issues. I have had issues before. What, what about you?
I definitely have, and I just wondered if it's like an 11 thing when you're not like maybe when you're younger you're not in your power because like for me I felt so shy when I was young. Like I'm still somewhat of a shy person, but when I was young I was extremely shy. I wouldn't just talk sometimes. Like I would just say nothing. And like I think it's like you before you know who you are and you're like you come into this body and this earth again and you're like what is happening, but like you remember a lot. You just don't. It like takes a while.
Yeah, yeah. It does seem like you've had your challenging 11 experiences in life because like I've never met an 11 that's not been through a lot of stuff like you like I feel like we choose this path because like we're on earth to learn lessons, right? We always I relate for sure. Shout out Blake. Yeah, we come on earth to learn lessons and we evolve. I've the 11 life paths that I've met are so mature. They're literally so mature, and like if you just speak to them, they'll speak to your soul. Most of them. That is because you had to go through all those experiences as a kid for you to be the man that you are right now or the woman that you are right now. Like you had to go through all the tests and trials. Like you wouldn't be who you are right now if you didn't go through all that stuff.
Yes, yes, it's so true. Yeah, people would say that actually, like you're speaking to me right now. Like that's something I've heard a lot, and it's true. You just like you could just read people. You just have a innate understanding of people, especially
Yeah.
emotionally. I feel like
Yeah, but how many people actually feel you? That's the real question. How many people feel you?
you do. You do.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, that's because I'm an 11 life path. Okay, so, yeah, it's just guys, like, look, honest. You know what's so funny? I think someone told me they're like, you're very lucky for being in life, and I know I'm lucky, but some people don't actually understand how hard life is for most 11s. Like seriously. Like I know 11s that have been like I knew a 11 life path girl. Both her parents passed away when she was in high school. In high school.
Yeah, definitely have a lot of different challenges. Like my cousin that's an 11, she's been through so much for how young she is. Like her father being, I don't want to share too much, I guess. I don't know if that would.
Mm.
But she's just been through a lot of emotional stuff to strengthen her, you know, and she's only 16, I think. But that was just like me as well. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was always something to strengthen me emotionally, to put me more into deeper awareness of the people around me.
So the other day I had maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I had some 11 life path that commented on my YouTube video, and they're like, oh, I wish something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing. They're like, I wish I was never an 11 or something. I just want this to end or whatever. And like, so true
Oh,
for them. And I'm not here to judge them, but what would you say about that? Like, what would you say if someone's coming like that?
that's interesting. I feel like, what if you never had an understanding of being an 11? Do you think that would have made them say that? You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that.
No, I do have an understanding of an 11, but that's what's the challenging part is because you understand that you're an 11, but do you have the tools to get through that understanding, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't even
because,
know about numerology before 3 years ago. I had no clue. Like 4 years, maybe.
yeah.
How long have you? How long have you known about numerology?
Okay, so I've known about numbers for a long time, obviously, but then I started seeing like repetitive numbers. And I literally couldn't stop seeing them. Like I saw them so much that it's not a coincidence. And I started seeing them like at one time. Like it was like a week or two when it just started. Like it just started when I started seeing like 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, and I just kept seeing these
Yeah.
numbers. And like after a couple of months, I started discovering like channels, and they're talking about their life paths, and I'm like, wait, what's my life path? So I still remember I added my life path like 3 times. I added my birthday, and I thought I was a 28, right? So I thought I'm like, oh, I'm like supposed to be rich, but I couldn't relate to it that much. But I'm like, am I sure am I 28? But then when I added it like 2 or 3 times, I kept seeing 29, 29, 29.
Oh,
And
because
then
there's 811. Is that what you're saying?
28 is not 11. 28 is 1.
28 is one. It's not 10. No, there is no 10.
No,
Well,
there's no 1, right? So when I added 2 and 9, it became 11. And then I found out you cannot add the 2 once because it's a master number. And then I'm like, wait, I'm an 11 life path? I'm like, wow. And I'm like, this is the reason why my whole life just started making sense. Like, everything in my life just started making a lot of sense. I'm like, no wonder why I've been through so much. No wonder why I'm so intuitive. No wonder why I connect only highly evolved souls. Um, all this stuff.
definitely. I remember feeling that way when I was reading about 11s. And when I first learned about being an 11, I watched so many YouTube videos and like they all resonated so deeply. And I was just like, wow, it felt nice to feel understood like that on that level.
One
And
wrote like I had a hard time controlling my emotions as an 11. Writing liberated me.
yeah,
I love that.
I feel it. The emotions are still a challenge for me. Like I can spend a lot of time in my emotions, and that's amazing. Like as a female, as a feminine, like that's like a gift, but it's also like I gotta balance it out. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's the thing with the 11s is like unless and until we don't learn how to master our emotions, we're not getting too far. I'm telling you guys right now, because your emotions can legitimately start backfiring on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't learn how to like some 11s, I love all my 11s, but I keep it blunt. I'm not here to like sugarcoat anything. Some 11s are too sensitive, like way too sensitive. The thing is, you have to know that we live in Kali Yuga. We live in a dark era. So it's a good thing to be sensitive, but know how to transmute that energy. If you don't know how to transmute your emotions, you're always going to feel sad. You're always going to feel depressed. You're always going to feel angry.
Mm-hmm. And that goes for others too. Like, I mean, 11s feel it all more, but other numbers can have those challenges also. Like,
No, no, other numbers can, like, look, if you're born on the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th, you have partial 11 energy. You're not an 11 life path, though. You're not an 11 life path, but you have the 11 energy, so you could feel some of that energy. But if you are an 11 life path, now now it's on a different level. Because there's literally, like, it's a whole, and I'm not saying anyone's better than anyone, but it's just truth that 11 life paths feel energy and emotion at a whole different level.
yeah.
And I think writing is a good way to get your energy out. I think meditating times and like being in isolation and just thinking about what you think about. Because if you identify with that's what ends up happening. But if you just observe your thoughts, you don't identify with your.
You're like frozen on my end, but I don't know if it's.
I froze. You froze on my end
Oh,
for a
really?
bit. I think you're going
Okay.
much into like the nature. I think you're losing connections, man. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably going too deep.
Yeah, it's all like breaking open.
Is that Idaho? Oh, that place looks beautiful. Wherever you are, that place looks beautiful.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
Idaho. I'm in
and
Boise.
nice, nice. Good, good. So we'll probably close up in like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll try to save this if I could save this, and then like I'm pretty sure people on my YouTube are gonna love this conversation that we had. It's just gonna
Sure.
get a lot of,
Awesome.
because YouTube main platform, Instagram is so shit for me, but YouTube is my main platform. So like that's where I'm gonna post this. But yeah, do you have any like closing thoughts in your mind? Like, do you have anything that you would like to share with people? Like, maybe ways 11 life paths can get through this life, this difficult life of ours that we have, but blessed at the same time.
Plant medicine. That's something that's helped me at
Oh
one
my,
point.
a whole different topic I've got to discuss with people. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the things that opened up my throat chakra, and it still is like I can open it a lot more. And so, but I did ayahuasca because of such like deep emotional blockages, and I think that a lot of 11s like actually have deep emotional blockages. So they have to heal a lot of things to get to where they like really can be like blossom. But that was just what I needed. Like that's just one avenue. There's lots of different things. Energetic healing, like something I've wanted to do more of was like acupuncture. Um,
That's really good because it releases a lot of tension from your body.
yeah, the blockages, it can like go in and yeah,
Okay, so
different energy. But
I'm gonna find how to save this live. Let me see how I could save this. I really don't have. no idea actually.
Hmm.
Um,
I
wait,
wonder, can I save it? No.
can you? I have no idea. Let me see.
I wonder if when you end it, if it gives you an option to save it, or if you had to have saved it like before when you first started it. I don't really
I,
know.
I think that's true. Someone said if if third eye, I think third eye be single, the whole body should be full of life. Thank you for your wisdom. That's so true. That's very true because the third eye has to open for you to see everything. Like, here's one more thing, right? You could be an 11 life path, but unfortunately, look, I'm not an angel, but like, I've been down that road where like I really, really was in my lower chakra points, like a lot, okay? So I totally feel you. To get to your third eye, that's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
That Okay, Sky. So I'm gonna close this live up and let me see if it have yourself a wonderful day. Okay, enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. I
Talk
hope
to you
this saves.
soon. True.
Hmm.